Tinubu call Lagos home instead of Oka? Shettima takes swipe at Peter Obi. The vice presidential candidate of the APC, Kashim Shettima, has apparently taken a swipe at the presidential candidate of the Labour Party, Peter Obi. This was during the annual conference of the Nigerian Bar Association, which was held on Monday in Lagos. Addressing the audience, Shettima said his principal, the APC presidential candidate, and former governor of Lagos State, Bola Ahmed Tinubu, made Lagos home for all. He said Tinubu's strides in Lagos made Obi see the place as home instead of Oka in Anambra State, which he governed for 8 years. He says, "My brother seated here called Lagos his home and not Oka. It is Asiwaju Bola Ahmed Tinubu that made Lagos a home for all," he said. He continued, "Nigerians have a capability to see through the worn-out rhetoric and sophistry of pretentious politicians." Oh, really? And he continues, "Nigerians should follow the man who knows the road. From day one, we will hit the ground running. We will promptly address the issue of economy, ecology, and security. And we have the antecedents. I built some of the best schools in Nigeria. Go to Borno and see wonders. You will never believe that it is a state in a state of war." Well, really, for us not to believe that takes a lot, because really, Borno is a state of war. Okay? So we are going to replicate our achievements, he says, in Lagos, in Borno, and some of the frontline states, so our nation will be a better place. The fundamental issue is pure leadership, he says. Well, not just frontline states, but the whole of the country, right? Not frontline states that just agree to your agenda. I think before we even go into anything else, I think it is very important to look at the mental health of Shettima, because I don't think we've talked about it enough as to how he must really feel. I mean, imagine you are presented as the vice presidential candidate and you are the most unliked since he has been announced, there have just been arguments to show why he is not the right option. And I think that it takes a lot. It's a lot, because what now happens is that obviously he will start defending Tinubu, doing his job, promoting his party, all right. But how must it feel? Because really, this is sad. I genuinely feel, there's a part of me that really feels bad for him. And a lot of it, I wouldn't say it is his fault. I mean, I don't think I would know of Shettima, before he was announced. But the thing is, he's just been unliked. And because of him, I mean, there has just been a whole debate. Of course, you're in politics, you should be expectant of, ups and downs. But to think that you are the problem, that when your name was mentioned, that was when the whole country was like, no, we don't want this. Those that because of you, party members were resigning. I mean, it must really be a lot, right? And to be honest, he really gives a lot of sycophancy. I mean, if that's even a word. The things that he says, obviously he's in support of Tinubu, but it's the same rhetoric. He built Lagos. Okay, and Lagos is not Nigeria. And really, to be honest, yes, when it comes to trade, I mean, we need to not forget this. And I think this was mentioned when Tobi Amusan, the fastest 100-meter hurdler in the world, when she obviously won and broke the world record. Now, people put Nigerians are winning, not Nigeria. So it's the same way you can say in Lagos State, individuals in Lagos State in itself, right, are winning. I mean, at the end of the day, when it comes to the work ethic, of course, with a lot of leadership issues, with electricity, with so many things, there are reasons why Lagos is behind. It's not a tourist center. People are very dissatisfied in how they live in Lagos. But when it comes to the achievements that people can still have in such an environment, it's amazing, right? And when it comes to international trade, when it comes to events of international repute, the number one place is Lagos. So I feel like it would just be a whole disservice to those that are in Lagos that have come from different parts of Nigeria. I mean, Lagos is literally getting overpopulated, but it's these individuals and their work ethic, productivity, and their achievements that make Lagos what it is. So for you to just be like, what, it is Tinubu. I'm not saying that Tinubu, whilst he was governor, did not do anything, but since he was governor, there have been other governors, and he's gone with that, and that's okay. But it's like, you have said the same thing over and over and over again. If he came with the argument now, listen, if he came with the argument of, you know what, instead of Lagos being that place where everybody wants to go to, we can replicate it across the nations, across the country. Okay, fine. It's like, I'm not saying I support him, but I'm saying the story is the same. Like, okay, and what else do you need to add? What more? What adds to your strategy and your campaign? And so I feel bad for him, because anything he will say will just be seen as wrong, will be seen as, excuse me, why are you even like, the rebuttal against him would just is, I feel like it's very intense, because no one will want to hear what he's saying. And I feel bad for him, because I genuinely think that when he speaks, there is a lack of confidence. And I don't blame him, because the minute he was announced, Nigerians are just like, capital N-O, no. And of course, that would reflect on the party. And I mean, I don't know if you know, Tinubu can go back on his decision. I don't know if that's how it works. But really, I think that is something that we all really need to talk about, because I genuinely start to feel bad, you know, for him. Not because he's an angel or anything, but I'm just saying, you know, whatever he would choose to do right now would just not be, I guess, respected, because it's like, well, you're not wanted. So yeah. Well, an individual states, so it was Tinubu that made Lagos cosmopolitan. This is complete distortion of history. These politicians should use informed rhetoric instead of displaying ignorance. Shettima thinks like a goat, a tribal bigot. How can Nigeria, in Nigerian soil, say he's not at home? Is it when you're in another man's country you can call a home? Lagos is never made by Tinubu, and I don't know all these bigots that will get the message clear. Kashim Shettima, you lied. Lagos has been what it's before Tinubu became the governor. And that is true. Even literally going back to history, as the individual said, I mean, you know, even how Lagos became, or how Lagos was conquered. I mean, going back to slavery, going back to all that, I mean, again, with this point, I mean, Lagos has just been, again, I think with every state, with every country, or in popular countries, like you'd have, for example, like obviously, I think America is the best example. New York is not the capital, but you can say, I mean, everything. I mean, if you really, you know, New York is literally overpopulated when it comes to trade, World Trade Center, everything is there. So I guess you can say, obviously, I'm not saying Lagos is New York, but in that kind, if you're going to use that comparison, then yes. But trying to attribute all that to Tinubu, yeah, it's just like, okay, fine. Before anything, Lagos has just been that place. People will go there to trade, things happen there. And I think in the north as well, I think in the north as well, Bono was also that place. So if they can, you know what? Put what you think about this in the comment section below, and don't forget to like and subscribe.